Black Oni.
You're now listening to the Black Oni podcast.
Alright. Welcome everybody to episode 30 of the Black Oni podcast.
I always seem to be here for multiples of 5. It's weird. Every time I'm like, wow, it's been 30. Last time it had been 25. Wow.
Maybe we just have OCD.
Maybe.
It has to be multiples of 5. It was on the very first episode of the Black Oni podcast as well.
That's true. That is not a multiple 5.
Right. So, but it...
Uh-oh.
It isn't... Wait, I guess... Because 30 isn't an odd number either. I don't know then. You've broken the pattern somehow. And so... I don't have a name for this podcast episode yet, so I think we're going to figure that out by the time we get to the end of this. I was possibly going to name it Scandalous, but I feel like I should not draw attention to one of the topics on here as the ultimate thing that we're talking about.
That's fair.
And that was clever.
Yeah, right? All right, so for the icebreaker, what was the scariest video game you've ever played, and why?
I think probably the first Silent Hill. I think it was just given, like, my age and the fact that I'd never experienced anything like that before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. That first time, like, everything goes super rusty and creepy, and, like...
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Like, I don't know. And, like, you're in the hospital, or I can't remember which is which. They all blend together. Like, I don't know. And, like, unlike Resident Evil, where it sort of set you up and you knew that the scare was coming, in Silent Hill, they did a really good job of, like, not telegraphing what was going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
Shit, I don't think I've ever played the very first Silent Hill. I think I played 2 and 3.
I played 2, 3, and some of the sequels after that, but I never played 1 either.
Damn.
One's really good. I mean, one's really good by, like, standards of then. It's got, like, tank mechanics and... like 2 and 3 do too, so like
yeah.
But it's scary. It's really scary.
I believe it.
I mean, I almost wanted to say Silent Hill 2, but
That's fair.
I mean, whenever someone asks me that question, I always think of Eternal Darkness.
I never played
That is pretty scary. Yeah.
Back on the GameCube, it was just one of those just different but weird, and it caught you off guard many times while playing it, and it just used different things just to mess with your head.
And it scared you in different ways, like when it made you think that like all of your file saves got corrupted.
Oh,
yeah.
Man. That's fucked up. That's some Hideo Kojima bullshit right there.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was different, but I remember being scared playing that. Either that or Silent Hill 2. Yeah.
So I'm conflicted between Silent Hill 3 and what was the other game that I played that was really scary? I feel like Silent Hill 3 is the standout game for me because, you know, there was another game that came out that really had me like terrified too. It wasn't Outlast. Outlast is pretty scary.
Was it? What kind of game was it?
It was a first. No. I'm trying to remember now. God, like all I could think of now is Silent Hill 3 because of recently playing PT.
Yeah.
I remember playing Silent Hill 3 and like in multiple occasions putting the controller down and saying I'm not playing this for another week. Like that happened a lot.
I think Silent Hill 3 was like, I picked it up when I was in college. I don't think that's when it came out. And like we'd gather around and watch, and randomly just like everybody would scream occasionally. It was pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Or randomly like one of the girls would be like, "Why are all the doors locked? Why are all the doors locked?"
Oh shit.
Things like that.
Yeah, we had one of those moments actually. Just this on Friday.
Yeah.
So for those of you at home who don't know, my birthday was very recently.
Happy belated birthday!
Thank you. and I had some friends over. Kev was one of them. By the way, I forgot to introduce our guests on the podcast. I have the 1KK, Kevin,
What's up?
and Dave Soil, aka Soad.
What's up?
Yeah, and they have both been on the podcast for a very long time. So if you guys at home have just tuned in to this podcast for the very first time, welcome. And you are late to the party. And these two are awesome.
Thank you.
I try.
Thank you.
I try. And so on my birthday, we had people over, and one of our other friends, Ratana, mentioned that we should play PT, the playable teaser. And I thought,
Oh, that's what it stands for. I just got that.
Yeah, we talked about it after we had gone through it, and they were like, "Oh, I get it now." I thought it stood for post-traumatic because at playing that, I had post-traumatic stress disorder. Anyway, we played that, and we had a room full of at least 5 people by then because everyone else had left. And we had the lights off. It was like almost midnight. And I don't know if you guys at home have played this yet, but it is a fucking... We'll talk about it in depth more, but we had people over, and exactly what you were saying with like people screaming, the entire room screaming every time stuff happened was happening all the time.
It's a crazy fucking game.
Yeah, and they were
For,
like,
for the little bit of time that I played, even though me and Kev got stuck.
"What happened?"
You stopped moving for a while. It was creepy.
Well, we're going with the theme of PT, man. I mean,
Yeah. It knows you're talking about it.
oh shit, Microsoft!
It's bleeding through into Skype.
Oh, that's terrifying. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit more once we get into what we're playing. So yeah, what are you guys playing?
Diablo. Lots of Diablo. Also, still finishing up Oddworld so I can get that review done.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. Like, I don't know. It's a remastered classic, and it's a classic that like I vaguely remember, and replaying it's really cool.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah. My PS4 is actually like my primary gaming thing right now, and that's weird because that hasn't happened since like November.
Yeah. I've been addictively playing on it since then. Even though there haven't been that many games like leading up to these past few months, like I was still playing, but yeah, which game of the games that you're playing right now would you recommend more?
Probably Diablo. Like, I mean, Oddworld's really fun, but I feel like it has a more targeted audience. I think a lot more people could enjoy Diablo. And it has it has a social game, like you can play online.
Mm-hmm.
So
When it works.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Andy Crows again.
Just disappointed about that right now.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll be up again. We'll talk about that actually in the gaming news to let people know about what's going on. What about you, Soil?
I'm actually on the other side of that. Like, I've been playing a lot of my PS3 still. Like, I've been rocking Rocksmith a lot. I've been playing... We played a little bit of Rock Band Friday night, which was a lot of fun. And even playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Man, we got to get on that. I want to play that again.
It's still a lot of fun.
It
still is.
I am so ready to start playing Call of Duty again, dude. You have no idea.
I'm getting ready.
Yeah.
Getting ready. But besides that, and if PSN stays down all day today, I will probably go back to Metal Gear. That will probably have to happen because of what you just showed me a few seconds ago.
Oh yeah, dude. Metal Gear. When you play through Metal Gear Solid 3, you're gonna feel so good. It looks like we lost Kevin. Let me try to bring him back in. And now my video's turned off apparently. Let me try to add Kev back in here. Damn you, Skype! So maybe it was his connection, not mine. I don't know. I feel like it's probably my connection though. Because like I know I get interference in this room because it's like so far away from the router, and there's like I guess a door between there and a mirror. It's probably the mirror that's doing it. I have like a giant mirror over there. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Come on, Kevin. All right. Anyway, we could continue talking about Metal Gear. So where'd you leave off the last time you was on Metal Gear 3?
I remember seeing. Damn, like it's hard to explain, which means it's been way too long. Like there was this one guy, like I think he was in a wheelchair or some big like floating machine, and he turned around and went inside this room, and there's like 3 or 4 guards standing outside on this dock, and it's dark. It's nighttime right now, and I take out like all 4 of them and just start putting their bodies in the water, and I'm about to go in that room, but I have no idea what's in there.
So spoiler alert for you, that old dude in the wheelchair, you could have actually killed him then.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to take the shot, and I was like, no, I don't think I can do this.
No, you could totally take the shot. You could totally kill him, and that he's actually well, I'm not going to ruin anything for you, but you can kill him early there. Again, one of the many reasons why I fucking love Kojima. Like, no one would have thought about making that a mechanic in the game of like, hey, if you see one of the characters early on, you could kill them.
I mean, I thought about it too, but I was like, the other thing I thought was, in other games, when you have a boss fight, or you're about to have one, if you take that shot early, all the guards freak out, the boss freaks out, and you just get wiped out. And there's no point. I mean, like, in other games I've played like that, but not many that I can recall, and that's like PS3 or PS2 days.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, if I pop that in, I might try that. That's awesome.
Yeah, if you do that though, you will miss something really, really interesting later on.
Well,
so it's a toss up. It's a toss up. You'll avoid something, but you'll also miss something really interesting. So
that's cool though.
Yes.
I props to Kojima for that, man.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Wow.
And there's a I wish I could tell you about this. I'm not going to tell you about it. But there's technically a mini game in the game. Once you get, it's like halfway through the game or towards the end.
Yeah.
It's a dream sequence, and you'll start it up, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" There'll be no explanation, no context as to why it's going on.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I've been playing Diablo.
And what do you think so far?
All right. This could be because I've been hearing so much about it from Jordan. He was like, "Oh my god, it's the best thing ever! Oh my god!" Like for literally,
a while.
The past 6 months is like literally the only thing he was talking about. And so I'm like, this literally has to be liquid cocaine in the form of video games and injecting into my veins. And so like, I'm not really that impressed right now. I'm going to keep playing it to play through it to see, because apparently the game doesn't start until you beat the game.
Exactly. I wouldn't.
Which is kind of strange, because if you want people to, if you're looking for more accessibility, I don't know. I'm going to stick through it and see how I'm feeling about it later. Like, I like playing with my friends, but that could be said about a lot of other games too.
See, with Diablo, like for me, like I first played it. Like a year or so ago, or whenever it came out on PS3, it was like a digital download, random purchase. I figured, fuck it, we'll try this.
Right.
And my first playthrough, I thought, well, this is all right. This is interesting.
Yeah.
But you just kind of just go around fucking shit up the whole time.
Right.
And getting money the whole time, and then finding like little cool things along the way. And I was like, this is kind of neat.
Yeah.
And you get into these larger battles as you progress, and you fight more enemies, and then big bosses, and then just killing Diablo. Well, yeah, I guess spoiler alert for you. Do you want to know?
I mean, I assume you killed Diablo.
Like it is called Diablo
the game's
for a
called
reason.
Diablo. It's like how it's called Metal Gear. If you're not fighting Metal Gear, it's like, what do you
do? Like what do you do? What's the point? Right. Or like Terminator, like it's coming. It's coming.
Right.
But after that point, like, and you can start over, but you still have all your powers, all your money, and you know what you're doing now. You've been through it. But you find that joy in playing with other people, or the new things that you find on your next go-round. Kind of like when you watch a movie for the second time or something like that. It gets a lot deeper.
Right.
But it's not for everybody, too. Like, some people immediately pick it up and like, fuck this game. Like, it's stupid. Like, I read today, someone went out and bought it for PS4 and played for 2 minutes and said, this is too much like WoW for me, and returned it.
Yeah, and it's kind of repetitive.
It can be.
But again, I'm gonna stick with it and keep playing because it opens up the more you play. I just feel like for a game like this, it feels like it should feel more accessible at the get go as opposed to kind of like, oh, it gets good after you beat the game. Like I've never thought to myself, I want a video game that's like that. Never thought to myself.
Okay. What game are you guys talking about?
Diablo.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. So like I was explaining to him that like I love being able to play with all of my friends. So like playing with you, Jordan, like New Prince, who will be on a podcast very soon, Andy, and playing with like one of your other friends, Kev.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that aspect of it. But so far, like I'm just like. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with kind of the hype that one of our other podcast compadres has put behind
Jordan
the game.
is so about it.
So much about it.
I'm gonna go turn on another light. I'll be right back.
It got to a point where like I didn't want to get the game anymore because like I feel like I played it because of how much he talked about it.
It's honestly, there's another game that I feel the same way about, and that's Warframe.
Oh yeah.
Have no interest whatsoever anymore. I really, really, really don't. And it's not just you guys. It's other friends and outlets online. And I'm like, look, I tried it and I played it. It's all right.
Yeah,
I just don't care.
I actually just popped it in again for the first time in like a month, and like they have transformed it.
So I hear.
Yeah.
So I hear.
Like I didn't actually know that was going to happen until like I popped in. I was like, oh, I have my own spaceship. Oh, there's a new tutorial. Oh, there's actual new stuff going on here. What the fuck is this? And so like I'm discovering like all this new shit again, and they have a storyline in it now, so that's pretty cool.
And it tempts me to pop it back in again, but I know it's going to be the same thing. Like I know what I'm getting into. It just I don't know. I don't know.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all because like again, when it first came out, it wasn't very good.
Nah. It was cool that it was free and then it looked neat.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But anyway, you guys at home, if you have popped in Warframe within the last, I guess, week, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's kind of interesting what they did there. And what else have I been playing? I played Warframe a little bit. I played Diablo. I've been playing The Last of Us Remastered, trying to go through on grounded mode.
Good luck.
It's fucking ridiculous. I'm at the...
Yeah.
I just met Sam and Henry in the game, and so like I'm going through that, and I got off the bridge, and et cetera, et cetera. No spoilers for anyone, because there's apparently people out there who still haven't played it, because the game has sold extremely well on PS4. Extremely well. I don't remember what the exact numbers are.
It's been the top seller for the last 3 weeks, maybe 4. It's
that makes me kind of sad because that means there's just going to be even more remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like re-releases, not remakes, re-releases. Like.
Yeah, shit we've already played. Yeah.
Hate them so much. I almost didn't buy Diablo, but it actually is very different than it was. Like.
Let me try to get some more light in here because it looks really dark in here. Hold on.
I mean, even though it's its own genre of a game, all the changes that they made to Diablo that I've heard from you guys and that I've read about online and the expansion pack that it is almost like buying a newer game. It's not just buying the same thing, just prettier.
Yeah, I mean, like the first 4 acts, even like they've added a whole bunch of new random stuff that happens. So like, I'll be playing and it will feel the same, and then all of a sudden it won't anymore. So that's nice.
Oh, God, I need to get this game.
This game?
I need to get it. I don't have
Diablo?
it yet. I need to get Diablo.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I like it. I think it's I think I'm gonna have to keep playing it to really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And has there been anything else I've played? No, but I'm going to be doing a review for The Last of Us Remastered. There's going to be a review coming in for Oddworld because we've got Kevin code. I'm trying to secure a code for Plants vs Zombies on PS4. I might be.
That game's so silly.
Yeah, did you play it yet?
Only on mobile. Like I haven't played any console version because I generally don't want to pay like $30 for a game that's $2 on mobile.
Well, it's different. Plants vs Zombies this is Garden Warfare, so it's a third-person shooter.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh,
I
I
was
didn't know
reading
that.
about that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked kind of neat, like, because I never played the same thing, Kevin. That's why I never really picked it up on the phone, because
Yeah.
if I wanted to, I would, but it looked like a new take on the game itself. It looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's I'm interested in it because one, shout out to Paola. You guys know about her. She is one of the people who's probably going to be on the podcast at some point soon. She doesn't have a webcam, and her like internet has been really funky lately. But
Mine
she,
too.
yeah,
Mine really, we just replaced the modem and it's been fine all week. And then, like, the second I come on, of course, it just drops.
but she had been playing it a lot, and she was telling me about it all the time. And I was like, you know what, I'd be interested in playing this, but I didn't realize it was actually coming to PlayStation 4 until like E3. They were like, oh, by the way, Plants vs Zombies on PS4. I was like,
Because
oh,
I thought it
sweet.
was Xbox One exclusive at first.
Yeah, it was it was a timed exclusive that they didn't tell anyone about though. So
No,
we're gonna talk
yeah.
about that. Don't you worry. We're gonna talk about that.
Sheesh.
Yeah, man. So hopefully I'll be getting that review code from EA. Either you or oh my god, come on. Why is it disconnecting the video for me automatically? There's something going on with Skype, man. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you.
Okay. Um, and so yeah, again, she's been telling me about it, and I've been interested in it, and so I'm glad that it's on PS4 now. I'm going to try to get a review code for either you, Kev, or myself, whoever has time to review it. And because there's a barrage of games coming out, and I'm going to try to get review codes of all of them. If not, then I'm just going to have to buy a copy, and I'm sure Destiny and Call of Duty, you guys will be trying to get that as well. I'll try to get a review code for Dragon Age because I really want to play that one, but I might end up giving that to Kevin since he's a really, really big fan of Dragon Age. But either way, I'm going to get the game because I really want it. And yeah, those are pretty much what I'm playing.
All right, cool.
Let me go to the package agenda and see what else is on here. Okay, so let me try to get Kev back on here.
I know, man. At least it's not me. At least I'm still here.
Right. Come on, internet. Interwebs. Okay. So the latest games that have released recently, PT.
Which is scary as shit.
It's so fucking scary. And again, guys, the PT stands for playable teaser. So I'm not gonna. You've probably already heard what it is by now, but I'm not gonna ruin that for you if you haven't heard from that. We will be talking about
It's
it.
really cool.
It's
Even though I
really-
heard about it, I was not disappointed when I heard what it was.
Right.
But I won't say it.
Yeah. It's a match made in heaven.
It's just genius.
Yeah. It's pretty, and like each
Oh.
person who plays through it will experience something different because of the way it goes down. And the only thing I don't like about it is that there isn't really a clear indication as to what your clues are supposed to be for a lot
Yes.
of it. So like the puzzles are really fucking hard. But they're really good.
I'll have to go back to it.
Yeah. I mean it's like you have to if you have heart problems, you probably shouldn't play that. Because you will die. It's so fucking crazy. Diablo 3, of course, we just got finished talking about that. That is just released on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yep.
And it is Reaper of Souls edition. That's what the version is, right?
That's the. I keep reading two different titles actually. The Ultimate Evil Edition,
Oh, right.
aka Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. It's like the whole
The Ultimate
package
Evil,
or
right.
whatever.
Okay. Tales of Exilia 2 out on PS3. Plants vs Zombies now on PS4. It was on a Xbox One on launch or around launch, after
I
launch.
think so. It was one of the games they were pushing fast or hard.
Yeah, I think that game came out probably this year, actually, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Which is really interesting. Let me look that up just to make sure. And I just spelled Plants vs Zombies wrong. I am so smart.
Did you spell planets?
No, I put an M in front of the plants for some reason. I don't understand why. PC launch trailer. Oh, so it came out on PC in June 24th. July, August. Wait a minute. Plants vs. Zombies. Now I want to find this.
You're gonna make me look too. Side note: we might have one other person joining us because he said he's almost home.
Oh, great. Awesome. That is fucking fantastic. I was hoping he'd be able to make it. Now I
Just
really
missed his favorite discussion though.
Yeah, exactly. February 25th, 2014. So it came out this year, actually.
It was earlier this year though.
Yeah. February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So the
Means they
PS4
missed
version came out
launch, but-
6 months later.
All right, that's okay then.
Yeah, that's not so bad. It didn't feel like 6 months ago.
No,
We're getting old, dude.
I know.
So yeah, that's great news for people who do not have Xbox or Xbox One. Let's see what else came out. Madden NFL 2015.
That came out.
I believe so.
I thought that was at the end of the month.
Oh, maybe.
Well, we're close. I mean, you're right. Holy shit. Maybe.
Is it out?
It's
I know
just-
IGN had a review.
I don't know. I don't know because I don't care this year,
it
and I love football.
releases the 26th.
All right, we're almost there.
We're
This
almost
week,
there.
this Tuesday, then.
Yeah, so by the time this podcast comes out and you guys are listening to it, it'll be one day away from it coming out.
And I still won't care.
And why is
Fuck
that?
that game. Oh my gosh. As I'll say it again, I'll never forget this. It was last year before Madden came out when they called it Madden NFL 25 or aka the 25th anniversary edition.
Right.
And everyone asked, "Why? What's that?" And they said, "Well, we know you guys love Madden, and we wanted to celebrate our 25 years of Madden, delivering one of the best ones we could make. We did this to it, we did this to it, we did this to it, and we all went, great." And they also said, we're going to focus just on this game. That means we're not going to be doing a yearly release. We don't want to kill the franchise. That we just want to focus on updating our roster. And that's it."
Yeah.
And I said, great. And fucking a few months after that, when I saw Madden NFL 15, I was like, fuck you. No, I don't care. I don't care this year. I have other sports. I'm going to be fully invested watching football on Thursday nights and Saturdays and Sundays and Monday nights. And I have other sports that I watch in the fall too, like basketball and hockey. Mm-hmm. So I don't care. I'll pick up another sports game. But this is my fuck you to them because they lied straight to my face again.
Oh,
and I'm just not falling for it this year.
Oh, yeah.
Nope.
That's pretty shitty. So, Kev, we were just talking about Madden NFL 2015.
Yep, I got it. I also think I know why my internet was dropping, so hopefully it doesn't do it again. Maybe.
Why?
My mom's working from home, and she's got the VPN up, and apparently, even though she's not on a call right now, she put it up. And I think Skype and that is just a little too much.
Too much for it. I
Conflicting.
gotcha. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
We just talked about Tales of Exilia and Plants vs. Zombies, Madden 2015. And Metro Redux is released on PS4 and Xbox One, I believe.
Which looks
Agreed.
great.
Yeah.
It looks great.
So apparently it's a remake of the first Metro.
Yes. Yeah. Which is another one.
But I never played that one. I played Metro Last Light on PS3. I still haven't
Same.
finished it yet, but it's a really great game though. I like that game.
I know, and that's. I mean, I just don't want us to keep having this happening. To have the same fucking game we played a year or two ago. But it is. I mean, it is a really cool game, and visually speaking, it looks fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So for some of those games, I feel like maybe it might be worth it to bring them back because like people just haven't played them. Like I'm pretty sure there were a lot of people who never played them at all. I never played the first Metro.
Yeah, me either.
But again, I would rather those resources go to something new. So that's kind of where my conflict is.
Yep.
That's one of those things. And so we're going on to the gaming news.
Yay!
First, I want to talk about something that just happened today because it's not actually on the podcast here. I'm going to add it post whatever the word is. Uh, the PlayStation Network is down today.
Wanna? That's
Yeah,
very sad.
it is very
Yeah.
sad. And the reason why it's down is because of a DDoS attack.
Ugh.
And for anyone who doesn't know what DDoS is, essentially, it is basically overloading the servers with fake traffic. So there's not actually things going on the servers, but the servers are detecting them as traffic, and then it's causing a crash. So apparently there hasn't been any compromise of any data or anyone's information or anything like that. It's just been hackers were able to get it down. But that still sucks because I still wanted to play something today.
Yep.
I mean, do you think that this means that they will be more vulnerable now to an actual attack?
I don't think that necessarily makes them more vulnerable. I mean, like, actually attacking and getting information is a completely different process. Like, that's
Right.
actually going in and doing something. This is just like making up a bunch of fake data.
That's true.
Like, it's
Yeah.
adding on. It's not taking away.
It's just
I mean,
being a
I think
dick.
it means they're probably not as secure as they should be, but I don't think that
No.
makes them like more vulnerable.
Do you think the general public will look at it as them being hacked, similar to what
Probably.
happened?
No, I mean, the general public will look at it as, hooray, I couldn't get online and play this, or download that, or watch this. As long as no one hears the phrase, my information was stolen, we're okay.
But does the term hacked kind of connotate that?
Hacked,
But
I mean, it
they
can.
weren't hacked. Like,
Yeah, but all the headlines are saying that they were hacked. That's the problem.
It looked like it. Like the headlines I read were exactly like what you said, that it was a DDoS attack.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just do like what any casual person would do: PSN down, because I looked it up this morning. Yeah, PSN down across all platforms.
Yeah, I see that one.
First on public service announcement: PSN down reportedly due to DDoS attack.
Okay.
I mean, at this point, like it's just looking at. I mean, attack is not a good word either. But when people read it and they'll read like, "Oh shit, we can't do shit."
Right.
Like they're not reading like my credit card number was stolen or it knows my password. Nothing like that.
Right. That's very true. I'm gonna report I have a problem with PlayStation Network online.
Yeah, because they'll get it.
Yeah. Well, because it's downdetector.com. That's like a
I know that one.
yeah.
I check that one for ISPs every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. I do that for to see if Skype is down, and to also see if the hosting service that hosts the Black Only podcast online is down. So I do check on that, but hopefully this won't be for long because after this podcast, I do want to get on and play something. I was playing The Last of Us this morning, trying to get through the game on Grounded, and it was pretty difficult. I was like, why can't I log on? I want to see who's on right now just to say, like, hey, what's up? Nope. Let's see. So, just added that to the podcast. PT releases a playable teaser for Mystery Game. First time I've ever seen this before. Have you guys ever seen anything like that before?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know.
No.
It was like a demo that wasn't a demo, so no, not really.
Yeah.
Not the way they did it.
And so for you guys at home who don't really know what the hell's going on with that, I remember a couple of days ago, I saw a post on N4G, and they were like, oh, watch this person play this game that turns out to be this. And I was like, that makes no sense. How did she download something not knowing like what it was?
Yeah.
And so she's playing through it. She's like, I don't know what this is. What is this? What is this game? And then she was like terrified. And it finally got to the end and revealed what it was. She's like, oh, she was literally freaking out. She's like, oh my God, this is the best. Like, it had all these people that she really liked.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did she get this without knowing? And so, like, I looked on the PlayStation Network to see PT, and I was like, oh, that's how. They give you no indication as to what's going on.
The only heads up I got was at Gamescom It was either an announcement posted or during one of the conferences that I heard it or saw it mentioned, and that they literally said you can go download this right now. And I thought, what? Like, what is this? And then I went through those motions too, even though I'm stuck right now. But when I saw what it was too, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I no, they've never done anything like that. I mean, we've had. It makes me think of those, you know, when you got magazines back in the day and they had those demo discs inside.
Yep.
That's the only other thing that I can think of that would be close.
Right.
But it still wasn't the same.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't.
No, fuck that game.
So I never look at hallways the same way anymore. Just putting that out there. Let's see.
Yeah, that's an intense hallway, and the fact that you just can't get out is
I know.
Yeah.
It's also got way too much going on for a hallway. Like,
seriously,
there's too many like side tables, and I'm like, whose hallway looks like this? Like,
it sounds so stupid saying this out loud. It's like, oh, you're just in a demo in a hallway, but once you play it, you'll understand. Like, it's an infinite loop hallway, and every time you go through it, something changes.
At first you're like, I don't know, should we talk about it or should we let people play it?
It's up to you. I actually don't, 'cause either way, we've given enough indication that there may be spoilers in some way. So again, people at home, there may be a spoiler or two.
Like, I remember playing it by myself with the volume way up.
Fuck that. With headphones on, right?
No, like, well, the surround sound that's downstairs, it doesn't matter. Like, if I had headphones on, it would be about the same.
Yeah.
Because when you hear something behind you on your right shoulder, you turn and you look.
Oh my god.
Or just when you first go through that hallway, you're like, oh, okay. And you kind of keep going. You're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And then
it just turns to a whimper. Okay.
It's like,
I think we could talk about the first time through the hallway, because like that isn't really a spoiler. Like, that's the first 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And I think that's very much like, that's terrifying in itself. Like, you go down this hallway, like, first you wake up in this like empty room, which is weird. You go down a hallway and there's just like, there's an alarm clock that's at like 23:59, so like a minute before midnight.
Yep.
There's like all these pictures. There's like pills everywhere.
Yeah.
There's like trash. There's a door that's locked. There's another door that's locked. It's raining and you can hear the rain. And then the radio is talking about a murder.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
God,
so
the radio.
all throughout that, you're uncovering little bits and pieces about. And what's interesting too is because in other Silent Hill games, a lot of the stuff that you see are manifestations of like events or feelings or concepts.
Yeah, it's always supposed to be somewhat in the main character's like head,
right?
Like in their psyche. Like the Silent Hill world is being created partially by them,
right? So, with all that's happened, you guys haven't got to the end of that, so I won't spoil that to you. But the main character, who is a part of that whole thing, I don't know. I feel like he might have some demons going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like, I don't know. The only thing I didn't like about that, from what I played, is like the baby.
Oh yeah. That's
baby
part
was
of
just
it.
Strange. Like, not scary, just strange.
It was part of it, I think. Well, I don't want to ruin anything, but you'll hear the baby when you're doing certain things.
Yeah.
And that in its own is freaky. And like what they're talking about, like, oh, this person murdered his wife. Like, maybe he murdered his wife and the unborn child.
Maybe.
So yeah, guys at home, never done before. I've never seen anything like that before. Go download it, check it out, and then leave us your thoughts.
It's free.
It's ad free.
And I'm not sure how long it's going to be on. Like, I'm assuming at some point it's going to be taken down. So
interesting. Let's talk about Sony for a second. So, aside from the PlayStation being attacked, PlayStation Network, apparently Sony had no idea that Tomb Raider would be a timed exclusive, as well as the PS4 selling so much. So, this actually goes hand in hand with one of the other topics there. Tomb Raider revealed as a time exclusive on Xbox One from Gamescom.
I don't think it was actually revealed. I went back to an old Game Informer that I have, and it listed like platforms only Xbox One.
Huh.
I think they just didn't make a big deal about it until Gamescom, but like I don't think it ever said it was coming somewhere else.
Really?
Yeah.
Which means they might have had their money in their faces from the get-go, and no one really picked up on it right away.
This was a Game Informer from like December, maybe, or January.
But didn't they show up at E3 talking about it would be released on PS3 and PS4?
I'm almost
PS4?
positive they did. But I don't know. I think you're right, man. But it was still shady as hell. I was watching the whole thing, the way they did it. And as soon as they said it, I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I'm tempted to run this trailer right now. Let me see. It's probably not going to say anything about 1924.
Nah.
Sure. Is there a way to share this? I don't know if there is. All right, I'm going to try. Share screen. Oh, wait. Hold on.
It blinked at me.
I don't see it.
No.
Hold on. I'm gonna try sharing it with you guys in a second. Just give me 1 second. I'm still figuring out what I'm doing. Okay. It was on the Xbox press conference stage though.
No, that's where I saw it.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Share screen. Share window. And Google Chrome. This one. Okay, start. I'm so smart. I can do this. Yeah.
I am so smart. SMRT. Sorry. I like Simpsons forever. Like I don't know what.
Oh my gosh. I'm so mad at myself. I haven't even turned it on once.
I can't hear it now.
No, I can't hear it or see it, but I'm on my phone.
Oh yeah,
my
you
dick.
are on your phone.
My dick.
My dick.
All right, you can hear me. What's up, guys?
So I'm trying to do a. All right, sorry, Jordan. We're like watching. Well, I don't know if Kev, can you see the trailer?
I don't anymore. I did, and then people started talking, and it went away.
Okay, let me try one more thing.
No, I started talking.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Interesting.
Share screen. Maybe it stopped because we just had a new person added onto the call.
Or maybe because my video is turned off. That might be.
That would generally do it. Like
Usually.
Yeah.
I feel like this should be giving us information as to where this is going to be released.
Are you actually watching it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I'm skipping ahead a little bit.
You just link us real quick.
Yeah. It's on GameStop. Oh, god damn it.
There it is. Loading.
There it is.
Do you see the screen share?
Yeah, it's not really there. It's not playing very well though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, Skype.
Dude, it's worse through Join Me, man. I have to use Join Me for work, and it's like 5 times worse than what this is.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's muy terrible.
Muy terrible.
This Tomb Raider?
Yeah. And so we're discussing whether or not they actually unveiled during E3 if it was coming on any other platform, because it was revealed during the Xbox One unveiling or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Arrow to the head.
Yet she feels guilty about killing people.
Not anymore. Not after that first one. After the first one, she's like, all right, fuck it.
I think it was well before that. I feel bad, but I'm going to kill 3,000 people right now.
It's just the trailer. They're not going to say anything else about it. It was what
Are
the
we-
guy said after it.
Are we recording right now?
Yes.
Will?
Yeah.
All
Absolutely.
right, sweet. It says some people on the call are unable to see group video. They may need to update Skype or use a supported device. So I don't know what that means.
I updated my Skype. I can't see you at all.
I still can't see you.
That's a shame.
All right, let me try to bring you back into the call.
Okay.
Hang up on him. Add him back in. Add people. Jordan Flynn.
Liam.
Flynn.
Okay.
And let's see if that did anything.
Maybe.
It's still
No.
loading. It's showing the little loading screen.
Life just doesn't want to see my sexy face.
Apparently.
Yep, still telling me some people on call are unable to see group video, blah, blah, blah. So just put a cool picture there. It's cool.
Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, where we are. So, okay, you guys at home who don't know who Jordan BauerKillz is, he has been on the podcast before. And he is one of my really good friends that I've been gaming with forever.
Yeah, for real.
And yeah, he is on the podcast now. So
To bring you guys up to date games, I'm playing Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. You're really surprised at that one. And
so surprised.
Fallout New Vegas randomly because Fallout's awesome. And PT, scary as shit. Scariest thing
God,
I've played
it's so
since
scary.
the original Fatal Frame, which is saying
Which-
something. But
We just talked about that, so.
I figured, yeah.
So good.
Every time I play, I have a different experience that makes me crap myself.
Did you get to the end
Every
yet?
time. I got to the end, but I don't know how to get to past the end. I'm like stuck at I think it's the last part of it, but I can't figure out what to do at the end.
The only reason why we figured it out is because one of my friends he wanted to see the end, so he looked it up.
Ha! I just figured out
Aw.
what PT stands for. It stands for pants turted.
That would be very, very well placed name because that game is just scary as hell.
Yeah,
It's awesome though. I really like that it's as scary as it is, and because it's done really intelligently. It's not like just a gore fest. It's not just creepy or disturbing. It's like everything, but
Yeah.
it's like really effective. Very disturbing imagery.
the sound,
Say-
dude. The sound design
And-
is
Oh, the sound.
Yeah,
Oh.
there's a lot of very subtle things that I think are terrifying, and that's what I really like. Like
Yeah.
some of the stuff that you might not even notice. Like if you look at some of the photos
Yeah.
that it doesn't even draw your attention to, stuff like that.
And apparently
That is
you
really
can
cool.
collect like bits of a photograph.
Mhm.
I didn't do any of that.
Nope, not me.
Yeah, I did. Just the first time I'm hearing of it, so it sounds like it was just really well planned and executed. And if the whole game is going to be like that, I can't wait because
The whole game can't be in first person. I will have a panic attack.
I
hope-
think it'll be third person. But can you imagine this interactive trailer being on like, Project Morpheus?
Oh my god.
Like they need to,
Oh.
they need to do that. Just
No, they don't.
People would die.
Like,
People would literally die.
People would legitimately die.
be freaking sweet. I think that'd be awesome, man. Just to have it out there for people, the badge of honor. Yeah, I played and beat this game in Project Morpheus. In Morpheus, yeah.
I only went through 9 pairs of pants.
World record.
That's right.
Um,
Excited.
and so I guess technically they never actually said, Tomb Raider would be on any other consoles. We just all assumed it would.
Yeah.
But then the fact that Sony is kind of surprised about that too has me wondering.
Well, like I said, like at some points it was only said that it was on like Xbox One. I just never noticed it until I was reading this old Game Informer and was like, oh, it only says Xbox One, like long before E3. Weird.
Interesting.
I think it's pretty cool Microsoft did that from the perspective that it actually seems like they are really trying to. I mean, obviously they're going to try to be competitive, but now they're having to. I mean, I feel like they've gotten really humbled, and it's a really bold move on their part. Because first of all, you don't know if it's going to be a one-hit wonder. Yes, Uncharted 2 was a masterpiece, in my opinion, one of the greatest games of all time.
Yes.
But how many times do you have like a really good first entry and then your second entry just doesn't meet the expectations? I mean, that is normally what happens. And then on top, so if that's the case, they're going to alienate some people, and then on top of that, they're already limiting their fan base by going one console. But it's kind of, to me, like, as frustrated as I was
out here.
I really liked the first Tomb Raider a lot. I really did.
Yeah.
Microsoft has been extremely inconsistent with everything from digital rights management to, their Kinect support to, it's like they flip flop all over the place by them going out and grabbing a series that people care about and taking it away from, their major competitor, who is whipping their ass right now, by the way, and Sony. I think it shows some moxie. And for me, like, I'm not an Xbox guy. Obviously, I'm a huge Sony fan, but I actually respect the move quite a bit, as much as it kind of irks me, because I really want to play the next Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I respect it, but I don't see it selling more systems. Like,
I don't either. No,
the first Tomb Raider was really good, but I don't see, like, the second reboot of since the reboot, the second Tomb Raider actually, like, selling a system. I don't see somebody going out and buying an Xbox One just to play it.
Yeah,
An
I agree.
Xbox One I still would see as, when they come out with two new things, the new Halo, new Gears of War. Those will move those systems.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd want to play both.
Systems too.
But whatever.
And it's because they're established powerhouses, and Tomb Raider isn't yet, which is, my point. I know I've made this point to all of you guys on the Black Oni podcast chat, which is epic. I feel like they should have pulled this move after the second one, because the second one, makes right on some of the flaws of the original, of which there weren't many. But if the second one comes out and it's like, I don't want to compare it directly to Uncharted 2, because I don't think anything's going to be able to compare to that. But if the sequel comes out and it's amazing and it's even better than the first one, then you secure that IP or the exclusivity or whatever it is. Because I'm still kind of murky on exactly, will it come to PlayStation? Will it not? It sounds like it's not.
It will. No, it sounds like it will.
Yeah, it sounds like it will.
They just won't. They don't want to talk
exclusive.
about it.
They said time.
No,
they said it's for duration.
No, they never
Phil
said
said he didn't know. He wasn't sure, that he doesn't have a long-term interest in the property, that he doesn't
they've been
own
talking
the
about
property.
it. Phil did mention that he didn't buy the rights to it. He didn't buy the game outright. Like, he got it for a timed duration.
But he doesn't.
Say that again.
Cut off on my end.
Yeah, cut off.
Yay, I'm not the only one who drops.
He doesn't know exactly where it's going. He can't confirm if it's going to other platforms. Basically, he won't come out and fucking just say, "Hey, it's probably going to be on PS4." I just don't want to tell you when. I want you to keep thinking it's going to be on Xbox One.
Well, it would be
that might be
against
part of the
interest to tell us when, because then people just wait for it on the PS4.
If they start developing it for another system, they can't talk about it.
Yeah, he's definitely under NDA there. Because what's the point of securing an exclusive agreement if you can just say it's on other systems, So, or that it will be on other systems. So he definitely can't. But yeah, I still think. I think it was a pretty. For me, I respect the move, but I agree 1,010% with you, Kev. There's no way that's going to sell a lot of systems, especially if Titanfall didn't. Move some systems, but it didn't. Move as many as they thought they would. There's no way Tomb Raider's gonna do that. It's just not big enough yet.
Yeah, and I'm still really shocked that that Titanfall didn't really do much, because I think Microsoft has announced that they shipped 5 million units, but they still haven't come out and said how many they've sold yet.
Speaking of which, this is, I think, just in the rumor mill right now, but they're talking about having a multi-platform release of the sequel. That's what I've been hearing.
It's confirmed.
Yeah,
it's confirmed. Yeah,
I think they're talking about that all along, saying that it might be going.
Yeah, it was like right around the time that it came out. They were like, well, the sequel is probably going to make it to PS4 if it does well, because Microsoft exclusively bought rights to the first entry, but that was it.
Yeah. I'm wondering how much people are going to want it after Advanced Warfare, because
I don't know.
I think we talked about it already a little bit at the very beginning, but I am super excited about that.
It looks so good. Oh my god,
so damn good. I was watching a multiplayer trailer this morning.
Yeah, I've been watching gameplay, because there's been YouTubers who've gotten their hands on it at events and like got to record gameplay. So you can just see people just straight up playing it, and oh my fucking god, it looks so much fun. If we can get back on the PlayStation Network today, we have to play Black Ops 2 today.
Yeah, I definitely think that for me, this Call of Duty entry is the culmination of everything I've wanted in a Call of Duty since the first Call of Duty 4.
Except
I mean,
for the ability to change your loadout while you're still in game.
other than that,
Yeah.
that's something that still drives me absolutely crazy. But I just the 3-year development cycle. I mean, it really looks like they're going out of their way to make it not only a legitimate next entry, or next generation rather, I guess now current generation entry in the series, but actually advance the formula, move it forward.
Right.
Infinity Ward. I can't remember the last time Infinity Ward did that because I know we've had this conversation a billion times, but Ghost was one of the most mailed-in efforts I've ever seen by a developer. And Black Ops was amazing. Okay, Black Ops was cool, and then Black Ops 2, even though the online, which is good, it doesn't really change much. The single player with the branching storylines and they tried so many different things. They always are trying to push things forward. But I mean, Advanced Warfare just looks like in every phase of the game they're redoing some things that need to be redone, keeping some similar things. But I just looks amazing from day one. It's looked amazing. And it's perfect timing, especially coming off the debacle that was Battlefield last year when I was talking mad smack on Call of Duty, Ghost specifically.
Yes, I remember. I was too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I was on Ghosts, so it's justified even to this day. But yeah, Advanced Warfare looks awesome, dude.
That's crazy how things have changed over just a year. We were saying the exact opposite last year.
Right.
Yep.
I want to see if Destiny's the special edition is available, or if they're still sold out. I think they are.
It's still sold out, I believe.
God fucking damn it!
I think it was a limited number, and they're gone. So they're not gonna be back.
Damn it! I should have got it when I had a chance.
I still haven't seen any gameplay from Destiny.
Wait, really?
I haven't seen any gameplay. I've heard about it. I didn't partake in the beta because I don't do betas ever under any circumstances. And
didn't you do the beta for Battlefield?
Yeah, no, I 4?
3.
No.
Really?
I never did the beta for Battlefield.
Ah.
I've never played any of the betas for any of the Battlefield games. I played the release day version.
Me too.
David, I know David played Battlefield 3.
I played that's the one I remember playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never played the Battlefield 3 beta.
Why do you guys think that the PlayStation 4 is selling so well? Like to the point where it's selling over twice as many as the Xbox One. There are some rumors that it's up to 3 times as many. Say what?
I'll let you guys go first. I have a couple good reasons, but I think you guys think the same things.
I think it all started with everything that Microsoft did at E3 last year, and I think that sort of spread to the I don't know, sort of like the celebrity culture. Like I think that the overall theme has shifted. It used to be that celebrities always used to talk about playing on their Xbox.
Yeah.
Especially like non-gamer celebrities, and I think that's now shifted where they all want or have PS4s.
That's true.
So I think that sort of has trickled down to the public that doesn't necessarily game.
Oh, random show shout out. Does anyone here watch The Strain on FX?
No.
All right. Well, this one little side note of the show. Cool show. Different take on vampires if it was a virus. Really cool. But this hacker girl does something special for this one guy that has like his own like pawn shop or whatever. And for a gift, he said, "Here's your like toy or device or whatever." And he hands her a fucking PS4.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
And I was like, yeah. Like I just had like a little gamer shout out during the show. But even they're shoving it in like little Hollywood shows now too, even on TV.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they're seeing the trend and they're capitalizing on that and implementing it into their shows, which is of course drawing attention to it.
Yeah, product placement is pretty interesting. I haven't myself seen too much of that. The only thing I've really seen all that much of is Microsoft, like Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Playing on his Xbox. So I've actually had the opposite experience where I see most of the celebrities talking about Xbox, especially like athletes, because I don't know if you guys know, I kind of like football a little bit.
We're talking about football.
A little bit. Yeah. Oh, did you? Now really
upset. Yeah, we did.
We can't start on that topic now because I literally talk for an hour and 55 days. An hour and 55 days because that makes sense. But I think that the reason for me that Sony's doing so well is transparency. I mean, they've been extremely transparent about what they're doing. They've always been, since they talked about PS4, here's our vision, here's what we want to get done with, whether it's the hardware, whether it's the software, here are the features that will be available, and here's our roadmap to getting there. Mm-hmm. And then they freaking deliver it. Some of the features still aren't there.
Yeah.
They're incoming, but they've been very upfront about it. Hey, we wanted these features to be available to you. Yeah. They're not right now, but we are working very hard to get them in there. And without a second thought, they'll be there. Mm-hmm. There's no second guessing. Don't know when. They just don't know when, but they're
like they were talking about. They were talking about Home on PlayStation 3 before release, and that didn't come out for like 4 years after the system did, like a long time down the road.
It took a while, but during that time they were always very upfront and honest, and I really think that it's been, I think that you can do business while being transparent at the same time. You don't have to, because people aren't stupid. Well, okay, a lot of people are dumb. You think common sense is a God-given gift. It's not. But that being said, the majority of people aren't stupid, okay, and yet, I've seen Microsoft try to pull the wool over people's eyes, whether it's digital rights management, whether it's just the blatant propaganda, the best games only on Xbox,
right.
just doing some really sneaky, stupid stuff and just alienating a lot of people. So I think it's a mixture of Microsoft being very shady and very cagey about what they're doing and how they plan about doing it, and Sony being extremely transparent about what they're doing. And it also just seems to me, I mean, it might not be the case, but it seems to me that Sony just legitimately cares about like the gamers. I mean, obviously everything is done to make money. Like that, you're in business, you have to make money. But
right. I
really feel like Sony gives 2 cents about me as a gamer and about the fact that I've been with them for a certain amount of time or bringing in new people. I just get that from them, and I've never gotten that from Microsoft. From Microsoft, I've always gotten, if it's at the expense of a gamer to make a cent, even though we're a multi-billion-dollar company, we'll do it. Mm-hmm. Digital rights management. Thanks for supporting us. Now, if you want to share games with your friends, here's how you're going to have to do it, or even within your own family, you're going to have to give us some more money.
They rejected that.
They did, but only when they had to. Only because they realized they couldn't. Pull one on us all. So that's what I see. I think it's transparency. I just think it's better business by Sony. But I mean, for it to be this successful, it goes beyond that. I really don't. Even Sony doesn't understand or know why it's selling as much as it is or doing as successful as it is. But I mean, all power to them. Kudos. They're doing a great job.
What about you, Dave?
All right, Davey.
No, that's why I was waiting. You guys pretty much covered it all already.
Yeah,
it's transparency was one that they stuck to their message from the get-go, that we made the best gaming machine we could make. And then I look at Microsoft and I see the best multimedia machine we could make. Yeah. And it's other people are picking up on it too. Other major outlets like Forbes or the people on Reddit or wherever. That they know that the PS4 is technically the more powerful gaming system. We've seen it.
I think that has a huge part of it too. Is that for such a long time the PS4 was cheaper and a more powerful system, and the games just looked better on PS4 when they released on both platforms.
So it's
What I'm wondering at this point is how sustainable those things are, because now the Xbox One is the same price as the PS4. If Microsoft finds a way to undercut the PlayStation 4 by $50 or $100, then I think that could be a challenge, because they've now taken Kinect functionality out of the requirements of the system, and they've also given more GPU to the developers percentage-wise to use. And so,
but it still doesn't make that much of a difference.
I mean, I've heard that it's made a big difference in getting Diablo 3 at 1080p.
60.
Yeah. On 60 frames per second. It's not a stable 60 frames per second. It still dips below that every once in a while, but
that's still another sign too, that it still can't quite make it.
Right. Yeah, they had to make a lot of concessions. I mean, a lot of concessions just to get down to par with Sony.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, I'm not really sure what it's because Microsoft has dug themselves into a hole, both with the hardware of the Xbox One and also with the gamers as a whole. Yeah. Especially people that know what's going on, the people that are going to heavily invest over a long period of time rather than buy a system for one game or two games or whatever it might be.
Right.
So they're going to have to really rebound and do a lot to make up some of this, because I mean, they're really in they've dug themselves a hole in a number of different areas. It's not just any one area, and I feel like just by it's like okay, like in football, sometimes you win the game by just not turning the ball over. I feel like Microsoft has thrown 3 or 4 interceptions at this point, and yeah, they're still in the game and they still have a shot at winning the game. But odds are it's going to be very difficult for you to win the football game if you're turning the ball over. You can't turn the ball over. I feel like Sony hasn't turned the ball over. They managed the game, and Xbox has not done that. They've turned the ball over. So that's my take.
I feel like the big like non like hardcore gamer market is really all that's left, because at this point all the people that really wanted a next gen system, I feel like probably have one.
Right. Because 10 million fucking PS4s. I mean, that's worldwide though.
Or we'll have one by Christmas. I think Christmas is sort of the end of that.
Yeah.
And then all that's left is like the general public, and that's where price I think matters the most too. So if they can drop their price for next year, or if they can do it by November, like if they can announce like, starting at the end of October, the Xbox One's going to be $100 cheaper, I think that would be a big deal. But I don't think they can do that without losing a lot of money.
Yeah,
that'd be and Microsoft's not not willing to do that. They it's really a shame for me because I as much as I disliked Xbox over time period, the one thing I'm really not faithful in Sony in is their use of the cloud as far as it comes to
cloud.
The cloud
Yeah.
with all of you, because a lot of people don't understand like all of your your entire life can be accessed through your PlayStation, especially if you start linking it to your other devices and so as that carries over into games too. I mean, I'm just not as confident as I am in Microsoft and how they use the cloud. But at the end of the day, they're doing a great job so far. I think with pretty much all aspects of marketing and software and features, hardware, everything. They're doing a great job.
Right.
And overall company appearance is a lot, because even when Xbox dominated, like people loved Xbox. Nobody liked Microsoft. Like nobody ever liked Microsoft.
Right.
So you'd get an Xbox sort of as a concession, be like, well, they have the games I want. It's a better system. So like, I hate the company, but I'm gonna get it.
And then The Last of Us came out.
That's true. Then it did come out, and all the nuts were splattered everywhere.
Simultaneous slooging.
Yes. I
10 million slooges worldwide.
I think we hit a bunch of touch points though on that topic. So I think for the next steps for Sony, they're going to need to capitalize on the fact that they're doing so well and leverage that on others who are jumping into gaming who aren't like already hardcore or who haven't already made their decision. Like they just have to make that final push to push people over the edge. So I think a big and as much as people keep saying that they like, so the PlayStation 4 is an indie machine, like you got to remember that like indie doesn't mean the same thing as it meant before, 3 years ago. Like
it doesn't. And I love these indie games that come out, especially when a lot of them eventually become free on PlayStation Plus. Like, say whatever you want about Phil Fish, which I know we're going to talk about. The guy's a dickhead. He's an asshole. Yes. But that game is freaking awesome. And the fact that I get to play it for free is really cool. And also the plight of a lot of these indie developers, like it's not like people act like PlayStation is only indie games, and it drives me crazy. Like it's a nice supplement to their system, and yes, they have very strong development support for indie gamers. You know how many talented developers are out there right now, like grinding away to get an opportunity, and their way of doing that is to put out a quality game on the indie scene.
Right.
I just think it's better for the industry as a whole to be very supportive of indie gamers. So I don't think that that's a bad thing.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think that's a bad thing. I don't see it.
And that's again, it's a totally different entry point.
Is anybody else still here?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay.
Yep,
it went to static for a second, and I don't know why.
Because Skype is fucking up, bruh.
Lisa is following you.
Oh God.
Yes,
oh, please no. I completely forgot what I was about to say now because I just got distracted by thinking of PT.
My fiance's name is Lisa, and I was like, F my life.
After playing that,
behind you.
I don't think this is going to work.
So yeah, those again that indie support, having as much variety in that scene as possible is really important. And again, as you said, the supplementary aspect of between these big AAA release titles. I mean, you can get these games for like 15, $10 or $7, and you don't have to spend $60 on like a really great gaming experience in between the next big release. So it's like,
Yeah.
And they're really good a lot of the time too. Substantial content,
Mhm.
lots of replay value, unique experiences you can't find anywhere else. I mean, it's just a really good thing for the industry as a whole.
And occasionally you get to be a hipster and say that you played something before it was cool.
That's right.
true.
That's right.
That is true.
Indeed.
And so I don't know. We talked about this a little bit. Another game that is possibly getting the next gen treatment is Ultra Street Fighter 4. I've been saying that it should have been releasing on PS4 from the get go when they announced that it was even coming. I was like, why is this not on the PS4 already? And now they're like,
So that way you buy it twice.
Exactly. It's like, guys, fucking stop.
And it's Capcom, and they are the worst.
It's especially egregious because there's like approximately 728 versions of Street Fighter 4 that are out right now. I mean, like, dude, just end it. Like, we get it. It's your definitive version, and to your point, Will, just announce it at the time you announce the game.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop
exactly.
this. No, I'm not buying it on next gen because
Like
you're a dickhead.
people want the game. Don't I just That's why I didn't buy it on PS3. That is literally the reason why I didn't buy it on PS3. I was like, this is going to be on PS4, and if it's not, then I'm not buying it on last gen. Like I remember telling you guys, I'm like, I'm not buying any more last gen games. Not
I
buying
think it's
any-
weird too because, like, in a way, they're even like undercutting their own profits because
yeah,
like game developers don't want you to sell your games back, like,
exactly.
and then they don't want people to buy used games because they don't make money off of that. But like, if you keep releasing the same game over and over, what am I going to do with the old version? Am I just going to like keep it?
Nope.
That's what happened to The Last of Us. I mean, they didn't
Yep.
give any promotion towards, return your games or what. I mean, and GameStop was like,
GameStop did.
GameStop
here
did.
we are. Here we are. Here's $25 if you trade in your game. Yeah. Fucking GameStop. I hate them so much.
I don't hate them as much as you guys do, but I don't like them.
I don't like them. I do like that they held that promotion because Sony didn't hold that promotion, and I think that was a really big missed opportunity to continue kind of being about the gamers in that regard.
Yeah.
So again, I don't want to make it seem like there's nothing that Sony can or has done wrong. Like that is an area where they shouldn't have, like, they fucked up on that area.
They still screw up on a number of things. I mean, when PS3 first came out, they were so arrogant at the time because of the success of PS2, and it really hurt them for the last generation. It seems like they've at least learned from that. But yeah, Sony definitely makes a lot of mistakes, and you're right. That was one of them.
Yeah.
Big time.
But speaking about mistakes, I can't say Greg Way because my name isn't Greg Miller. But shout out to Greg Miller because I fucking love that guy.
I love Greg Miller too, even though he drives me crazy sometimes.
he's pretty excellent.
He is.
The Kinect, we talked about this a bunch of times during the podcast. Now the Kinect is no longer a required aspect of using the Xbox One, even though it's part of the identity of the Xbox One, I think.
Oh, for sure. Like, it's still the main component of their ads. Like,
yeah.
I don't
Buy an
understand.
Xbox One for $400. Xbox On. Oh, by the way, that doesn't actually come with that version of the Xbox you're buying.
And if you get it, maybe your games won't work as well.
2-point font, bottom of the screen.
Right. Right. But Kinect might not be entirely abandoned by developers. The developers behind, I already forgot the name of the fucking game. Hold on.
That's not a good start.
I got this. Hold on. My brain
One
is
of these weird,
restarting
obscure
itself.
niche games.
Fable Legends.
Yeah.
Lionhead Studios. I mean, these are the guys who are like all about Kinect, and they said in the interview that they are looking to implement Kinect. Let me look at the exact wording that they used. And so, those expecting adjustments to include technologies such as Smart Glass and Kinect will be sorely disappointed. However, Fable Legends has been designed to focus on the controller experience for both hero and villain players, says Echoberry. We're investigating the option to play on the Smart Glass for the villain experience, but it's not something we're focused on right now. Similarly, we may experiment with using Kinect for some mini games in town, but should we use the Kinect, it will be an optional element.
Which is just another tacked on feature.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So that doesn't really tell me too much other than people are still not giving it its all. I think it's frustrating because I think Kinect has a lot of potential, and I think if you make it an integral part of the experience, you can distinguish your game and maybe do something that's never been done before. Same with PlayStation Move.
Yes.
I got the camera. I also the PlayStation Eye hasn't done anything for me. I hooked it up, played with it for like 4 days when PlayStation 4 came out, and I've seen nothing done with it yet, even though they say it's coming. Same with Move. I know you played, I think it was Killzone 3 with the Move, and you said it was awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah.
There's always niche games that are going to like use these things, but I just feel like it's a lot of untapped potential at this point, and like there's not a whole, whether it's Kinect, whether it's Move, whether it's PlayStation Eye, whatever. It just frustrates me that there's not more people and more major studios pushing, the large scale games towards these things because they could enable the user experience in such a different way. Though, that being said, the whole Project Morpheus thing, maybe they're just shifting goals. I don't know.
I think they're just waiting to do some of that stuff because they don't find it as like the necessary like first step or like the necessary like we have to do this first before we deliver these great gaming experiences.
Yeah, but then with PS3, PS3 had been out for a long time before Move came out, and they still haven't done really anything with it. But I think that there's definitely, I think what you're saying is right too, especially, we're less than a year into, almost a full year though, scary how time flies, into the new generation. So you're right, they might be waiting to do it, but I don't know. I was just kind of, as much as I dislike Xbox, and I hate the idea of talking to my console, I just think it's stupid. Anytime I see people on commercials like, Xbox, go to Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you can't just say, go to Indiana Jones, It's not my thing, but, it's a distinguishing feature for the Xbox, and, to see that they've kind of dropped it to a certain extent already, to me, is kind of, even as a non-fan, frustrating.
Yeah.
So you want to see consistency either way.
I'm not sure what you can really do with the Kinect aside from voice control, which, by the way, bothers me to no end that they think... they fooled a lot of people into thinking that the only way that they can implement these certain features is to use the Kinect. But they're forgetting that, like, voice control and navigation has been a thing on headsets since SOCOM.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely. Yeah.
That's the thing that drives me nuts. It's like, in order to have this experience, you have to have the Kinect. It's like, no, you have to have a fucking headset.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's all you need. Like, why don't you just let people use the headset to do the voice nav?
Now, all I'm thinking about is playing Blizzard on the first SOCOM or Frostfire. Thanks, Will. That's all I'm going to be thinking about all day. Oh, good times.
We haven't even seen anything about H-Hour.
Yeah.
Would you say
H-Hour.
I know, because like I said before, like my mom's trying to work from home, and that means that she needs to go back on now, so I need to get off.
All right.
No worries, man.
I'll catch you
Thanks
guys
for
later.
hopping on. Yep.
Catch you later.
Later.
Oh no, the VPN, son of a bitch.
Him and I will be playing some Diablo, I'm sure, later.
Maybe not.
The PlayStation Network is back up.
PSN's been down.
What's going on with the PSN?
There's been a DDoS attack.
DDoS attack, yeah.
Denial service, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's not fun. That happens all the time. Is it against a particular developer or just the PlayStation Network as a whole?
Well,
I heard PSN and Battle.net.
And League of Legends.
And League of Legends, yeah.
Remember what I was just saying about denial of service, or about Sony not utilizing cloud very well? Yeah. You can stop denial of services in the cloud if you know what you're doing. If you say, I can't talk about this right now. That's fucking ridiculous. Okay. Sorry. I gotta stop because that's
it's also a day before their maintenance period too.
Yeah,
they're going to be down like for 24 hours.
Yeah, it's insane.
So this is like 2 days back to back.
I'm going to try to log on to PlayStation Network after this and play some Black Ops 2 with you guys.
Well, that's the cool thing. I'm on my PS3 right now.
And it's fine?
I'm on Netflix right now still.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but my PS4 is saying nope.
It's really annoying. So, PlayStation Update 2.0 to add share play functionality. Don't know if you guys have heard anything about that.
I have.
Yes. What are your thoughts on it?
That it's about time. We were shown that feature a long time ago.
That's true.
And it took them almost a year to implement it.
Mm-hmm.
But cool. Like, that's something cool that PlayStation owners have over Xbox One people.
Yes. And so for you guys at home who have no idea what we're talking about, welcome to modern day civilization. Also, PlayStation Update 2.0 is essentially the added share play functionality. If Davey over here, Soil, or BauerKillz, are both playing something and they wanted me to experience it for myself or to help them out with a certain part of it, over the cloud, or over the internet connection, I don't know if it's actually using the cloud or not, I can jump in and actually play his game. I think you have you're limited to like an hour. Like you can only do this for an hour at a time or something like that. I don't remember the exact scenario, whatever the
Wait,
hell.
so we can only watch for an hour? Is that what you're saying?
No, you can play.
Play.
You can go in and play their game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
And I think this is a really brilliant way to see if you want to play a game that your friend has, and just jump in, hey, actually, I really want to buy this game so I can play this with you.
Which is really neat.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how that's going to play out, if it's going to work well, and what the criteria is, if you only have a certain, I think it's 24 hours, if that's going to really deter or bring people in. Do you think a feature like that is going to be a big selling point for PlayStation, or is it just going to be a tick on the checkbox of one of the cool things you can do?
It's just one of those cool things. I mean, even though it's not here yet,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say so.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, it's all right.
I was going to say Souls, but I can actually say it now. Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
That when this game comes out and I'm getting my ass handed to me in a particular area, I can hit up Jordan or you or Chris if by the time he has one by then.
Hopefully.
And I could say hey, can you please help me get through this? And you guys say, yeah, sure, no problem. And you'll just beast whatever I'm going through, and I'll say thank you.
Yeah.
And I'll resume playing.
And then
Or
I forgot.
yeah.
I didn't realize you were playing this. I'll jump in and play with you now, as your own character.
I see that the real value there is the ability to try out virtually any game your friends have.
Yeah.
Because I myself, I'm too. This is maybe a bad thing. I'm too proud to let anyone come in and help me beat a part of a game that I can't beat.
Yeah.
But that's not how a lot of gamers are. I mean, there are other gamer types, so I'm not one of those elitists. It's well, this feature shouldn't be around because shut the fuck up. It's a really cool feature. I mean, to be able to test games out, to be able to play with your friends, actively, altering their game, it's really a cool concept. And I just think it's really neat too that we're going to be able to, I love watching other people play games. Some people don't get that for some reason.
I love
but I
watching
think
it too.
I love it. So there are going to be times where, I'm going to probably hop in and watch you killing stuff, Jay. I mean, I'm going to be hopping and just watching you guys, because right now you have to go to Twitch and do that kind of thing. And I just don't like Twitch. I just don't have any desire to go there, with the exception of occasionally going to your Twitch, Jay. I go once in a while. But the ability to do it from in your system, to just be oh, he's playing that, let's see where he's at, what he's doing. Because so many times, sometimes games do a good job of, telling you he is currently, BioShock Infinite, it'll say something like Jay Blaze is currently, investigating, Vesper Bay or whatever it is.
Yeah, I love that.
That's, but you don't know exactly. A lot of games you don't exactly know where. By the way, Vesper Bay is, I think, in Final Fantasy 14, so that didn't make any sense. But it's really, really cool that you'll be able to actually see exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are a lot of times where I see someone playing a game and David comes to mind instantly, and they're just playing it all day, and I'm sitting there thinking, wonder what they're doing. Wonder where they're at.
Yeah.
What if I was a fly in the wall, just seeing what they're going through and doing, and it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. And they said it's been coming. It'll be here. It's been a year, but hey, they're delivering it. I think it's great. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that feature quite a bit.
Yeah.
The only other one that I still want them to do is the auto resume feature.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Because Xbox One people do have that feature.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And just the setup that someone said today, that they were playing Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls, and they were at a particular spot in a mission, and they just put their system on standby. And they came right back and went exactly right back to where they were.
It's epic.
You know what's funny? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask David if he got it, because he said he might be getting it this weekend.
Well, that's the funny thing. Like you missed earlier, like I went downstairs and turned my PS4 on for the first time in forever, thinking, you know what? Let's do it. Let's get it. And PSN was down, so I couldn't download it. And I was just disappointed.
Yeah. Hopefully that will be fixed by the time we're off of this call.
Yo, PSN, Sony, seriously.
Fix your shit.
Seriously, protect your network layer, man. Protect the network layer. That's all you have to do. It's not that hard. Quit worrying about your application layers. Jeez. Sorry,
Sony, if you are listening to this, which I assume you are, because obviously everyone's listening to the Black Only podcast.
Oh yeah.
Go hire Jordan to help you with your network infrastructure.
Cloud Assurance.
You'll be okay.
Woo.
Is it? Right. You said cloud? What is it?
Cloud Assurance.
Cloudy Assurance.
In the CAP validation process, do it.
Do it.
Protects your supply chain too. We can take care of that for you.
Please.
Display it to the. All you have to do then is point your consumers to it's like a credit score for the security of your cloud. And you say, hey, we got a 750. We're good. Awesome. Or you can hand us 1,000 pages of security controls and expect us to go through and see what's deal breakers or not. Bastards.
Wait, so anyway. It's called Cloud E-Security?
Cloud E-Assurance. All one word. Yep.
I'm going to make sure that is linked in here.
Sweet, man. Thanks.
No, I try.
Do a good job.
And the final thing within the gaming news section of the podcast is fucking Microsoft announces a 24-hour free play program and then retracts it, saying that it was an error.
Sorry, I didn't know that.
Mixed messages.
Oh, you think?
So, I hate Microsoft. Sounding like that guy who's just always bashing Microsoft. We've praised Microsoft a lot this episode.
We try to be respectful, but
we praised them a lot and said a lot of great things about, especially their network. You know, even Jordan said himself, like, you know, as much as I don't like, you know, the Xbox One, he got to respect that network. Come on. Come on.
We're going to offer a program that lets you play any digital online game for free for 24 hours. Oh, wait.
I was...
Just kidding.
JK, LOL.
Oh, this is what I was talking to Yarger about. I was like, on the podcast, like, he was like, well, this could be, you know, maybe they're doing it for this. I'm like, dude, it doesn't make any sense. like any digital game for 24 hours? You think any developer is going to sign on to that? Because, you know, people are just in droves going to, you know, if that was true, it's just going to be like, hey,
no one would buy any game.
Yeah, they wouldn't buy anything. Unless it was like a super long RPG, you know? You would just sit there and knock out game after game after game after game. I mean, you want to talk about not being friendly to the indie scene. I mean, like, you can knock out like 5 or 6 games in that period.
Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous. So, yeah, that's hilarious stuff.
I gotta really... that was a perfect response to that. And so this is the article that I linked here is a CNET article. Microsoft calls free Xbox One game promotion an error. A promotion for a test program that would unlock certain Xbox One titles for 24 hours was based on an error, according to Microsoft. So, updated 4 p.m. Pacific time with a new headline based on Microsoft's statement claiming the reports of a free play day for select Xbox One titles was based on an error. So, sorry.
Like, really?
You can't even report your information accurately. That's just...
It's not even the first time, either. It's like...
No, it's not.
It happens so much.
Nope. How about those exclusive games that they highlighted? Oops.
Oh, yeah, I remember. All of them, except for 2 were third-party games that were releasing at the same time on PlayStation.
With
exclusive content on PlayStation. I can't even.
Speaking of which, I know. Obviously, I love Diablo. I have to say this now that we said that real quick. The Shadow of the Colossus armor is freaking sick in the PlayStation version.
Yeah.
That exclusive content. I'm sorry, I had to say that quick because it's sweet.
No worries. So yeah, fucking Microsoft, please just get on your shit. Either don't
Replace.
open your mouth anymore, or just like make sure you know what you're doing.
Or just make sure the information is correct when you hit the send button.
Yeah, yeah. Hot topics.
Yes.
Do either of you have any guest topics that you'd like to throw into what we already have?
Oh, Derek. Guest topics. Yeah, I have one.
Yeah.
How did the gaming at your freaking fuppic birthday party go? Because I haven't heard anything about it yet, really. When I called you, wish you happy birthday, I was like, have a good time, but I know there were games being played, so it's relevant. I want to hear whose ass you handed in Street Fighter and the games that were played and how it all went, man.
Okay. First game, we didn't play until like 8 or 9. Like we were all just like hanging around, like talking and eating, the food, and
Nice.
just generally hanging out. One of my friends got really, really drunk, and it was hilarious. She's adorable. But we played Mario Kart first.
Nice
Mario
choice.
Kart 8. It was my first time ever playing it. And I won a couple of races, but I didn't win any of the circuits, which was
Interesting.
disappointing. But like for part of one of them, I had the Wii U, like the gamepad, which was like I was rocking it on that, but I switched off so that one of the other people who was playing using the Wiimote could play. And I just remembered why I hated using the Wiimote so much. Like I was like, wow, this is fucking awful. And I mean, you could get used to it after a while, but like nothing beats just using the controller. You're just like, oh my god, like this is how games are supposed to be played.
It's awesome.
So we played that. That was a lot of fun. Then we played a little bit of Injustice, but like not too many people played. We played Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which was like
That's a great game.
a game that anyone can just pick up and just start button mashing and shit happens.
Yeah.
And so my friend from Japan, like she lives in the U.S. and so her family's from Massachusetts, and so she lives in Japan right now. She's visiting for the summer, and she had the controller for at least like almost a full rotation of like all the people that was there, because she was just like she had Hulk on her team, she had Captain America, and she had someone else, but like she was just fucking shit up. And she had
Nice.
no idea what she was doing. But she was doing like some air juggles with Hulk, and I was just like, looks like I'm watching some high level play right now.
Nice.
It was pretty intense. So that was a
awesome.
lot of fun. Actually,
Cool.
the first time I picked up the controller to play, I was going against my buddy Ratana, and he beat me. He knows how to play though, but he beat me. I was like, oh fuck! And so when it got around to me again, I got the hang of what I was doing again, and I was just wrecking shit. So we started playing that. We played Soul Calibur a little bit. That was towards the end of the whole gaming. And I didn't touch the controller for a while because I knew that if I played Soul Calibur with some of the people who were there who didn't know how to play, I would like pone face.
It would be disheartening, want to give up.
Right. So we didn't even touch a lot of the games that we were initially planning on playing, because towards the end of the adventure, like we were all just like talking afterwards and just like joking and shit. And it was great because we were all drunk.
Nice.
And then the very last thing we played was PT.
Oh man.
So I played
Gosh, you
PT
waited till the
in
end
a
of the
room
night
full of
too.
5
That's
people.
crazy.
Yeah. And
Dude, everyone would have shit their pants at that level.
it was hilarious and terrifying all at the same time. I had never seen it was like midnight and we were all screaming at the top of our lungs.
Awesome.
It was like
Awesome.
insane.
Did you ever see her outside the window?
No, but I heard about that, and we would have.
Dude.
Someone would have had a heart attack if that happened, because we were
Dude, it
just.
scared me so bad.
We were literally talking about it. We was like, man, this would be really fucked up if she was outside. And like, I looked outside and didn't see anything. I was like, oh, thank God. But apparently, it happens. So I was just like, oh my God, if we had seen that.
Every time I play, there's like different experiences with her, and the one I was going through the same hall I've been through like a million times, and like. I was looking at the picture on the. Oh man, I get chills thinking about it right now. I was looking at the picture on the left before you get to the end of that hallway, and you have to make the right. And like, so I was looking at the picture, and I still had my stick going. And then like, I turned, I looked up, and she was right at the window.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
And it scared me so bad. I actually threw the controller.
Oh my God.
And then like when I threw the controller in, like I'm still looking at her on my screen, her head just started doing that like hardcore jerk twitch thing, and she disappeared.
Yeah.
Um,
I know
and then
you.
I turned around
You
and she was
probably
in the hallway.
experienced her
Yeah,
like grabbing you and like shaking you and you like waking up in the other room.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that
that's
was fucking terrifying because it was vibrating while that was all happening and I didn't know what was going on.
yeah, and she disappears like
Yeah,
right in
I was
front of
like, what the fuck?
you. But the imagery, in that game, man, it's the imagery too. Like there was an instance where I saw her in the balcony above,
Oh,
and
I heard about that.
she actually had blood coming out of her eyes, and you could like do a little zoom in, and she's just staring a hole right into you in the top of the balcony. I mean, just the
Good
imagery, man. It's just like
Uh,
Yeah, it was
I've
like,
seen her in
fuck
the
that.
hallways. I've seen her in the hallways where she disappeared, and I mean, it's just. I've seen her close the bathroom door when you're in the bathroom, and I've gone through entire
Yes.
playthroughs where it doesn't do
Yes.
that.
Oh my god. I was like,
You know?
open the door, open the door, open the door, open the door.
It's just really well done. I mean, they did a great job with it. It's terrifying, but that's a great one to play in front of other people. That's cool to hear, man.
Yeah, it was pretty
Nice.
good. So yeah, that was that. Moving right on to the Zoe Quinn scandal. And so we talked about this during the podcast discussion, and I want to bring to light not only that for you guys at home who don't know what's going on with that, I want to kind of like briefly give a summary. This woman named Zoe Quinn, who's a game developer, who
He's a bitch.
who has cheated on her boyfriend with several people within the games industry.
Several. Don't you think that's a little?
Right.
Little
That's nice. That's kind of nice.
I want to make a statement that some of the information from that link that Chris sent us was wrong. Some of that information was wrong, and so she did sleep around. That was definitely a part of the situation, but she didn't sleep with anyone who actually was directly related to reviewing or covering her game.
That we know about.
That we know about, and I want to play devil's advocate in the sense that there's a lot of information that is murky about that, and a lot of it that we just don't know. We only have what people have said about it. And so we know for sure that she cheated on her boyfriend. That alone doesn't make her a bad person. But
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Sorry,
thanks.
yes,
I mean,
it
yeah,
it makes her a
does.
terrible girlfriend. Absolutely. It makes her
Infidelity
an
of any
girlfriend.
question is just terrible. Like that.
Yeah,
that kind of makes you a terrible person.
I would say that's a terrible person. Anyway, especially like to me, I think at least for me, I think cheating is like one of the worst things you can do to somebody else. But like her cheating on him with like 9 or 10 other people.
Even if it was 2 or 3 other people, it wouldn't.
Yes, no, I'm saying even with one person, but
yeah.
But and to be honest with you, I didn't go into the link that Chris sent. But I looked it up online and I saw the guy that put the blog post, and he posted all of their conversations from a large period of time, showing that they were authentic, showing that they were legitimate, and then writing notes in between, like 12 hours before this, she was blowing this guy, and like this and this and that, and like having it backed up with timestamps. I don't know if you guys read that whole thing. It took me like an hour and a half or 2 hours to read through everything. It's like all these conversations he's had with her, and just reading through it, I was like, this is like the scum of the female race. Like, this is just terrible. But if she didn't sleep with anyone directly ahead of her, yes, in my opinion, she's a terrible person. And I could give, 2 shits less about, what she does and how she goes about doing it. On one hand, I feel like it's nobody's business, other than the people that are involved. I always try to be very cognizant of that. Like, I hate gossip. I hate, the Hollywood shows that all they do is gossip and things like that.
Right.
Because what's going on in people's personal lives should, in my opinion, stay personal. But, now that this is out and now that I've taken the time to read through it, just from my personal perspective, I can't stomach even hearing her name. But at the same time, I openly acknowledge it's none of my business. It's none of my business. I know about it, and maybe that says something about me, which isn't too good. Maybe I shouldn't have spent that time.
That you can blame it on the internet, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a big part of the anger behind this, I think, is due to the internet. So for you guys at home, it's not just that she like slept around with all these people in the gaming industry. It's that she had this game that many people considered not a good game get greenlit and released on Steam, and get funded. And there was an incident where she made a public statement about this other company called the Fine Young Capitalists, actually. So that's one of the other links down here. They speak about their contest and relating to Zoe Quinn, and they talked about how she made a statement that she didn't like them because they didn't. One of their policies about the transgender community didn't make sense because essentially what the Fine Young Capitalists are doing. And a lot of this scandal is due to a misunderstanding of what they were trying to do. What they do is they help developer or people who are interested in making an experience or a game who aren't already game developers. And so they're all women. They want to reach out to women to get them involved in the gaming industry who aren't already previously involved in it. And they give all the proceeds to charity and give 8% of the proceeds to the person who comes up with the idea or the pitch for them to go forward and make a game. What Zoe Quinn saw about their policy and about what they were doing was a misrepresentation, and so she said that their policy on the transgender, like what defines a person as being one sex over the other, she didn't like that, and she was saying like, oh, they changed their policy after like she had said something about it, but like they're saying that they didn't change their policy; it's always been the same. And the policy, from what I can see, doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it at all. So that was one of the issues that kind of added to this fire, and the fact that she kind of like had all of these. And again, the other thing about the Fine Young Capitalists is that it's kind of like a Kickstarter, it's an Indiegogo campaign, and so they're working with women across the world basically, and like they have people vote on who's going to be the person who gets this project made. So they come up with the idea. This company makes the game and then gives all the proceeds to charity, and then 8% to the other person. And so when Zoe Quinn saw this, she was looking at this as like an exploitive way of like, oh, just giving you a pat on the head, saying like, oh, you did good. Now we're going to take all this. But she completely missed the idea that it wasn't supposed to be for people who are already developing games. Yeah. So that was a big part of the reason why there was a misunderstanding there. And then like part of it as well was that like she never responded to them when they were asking her like why she didn't like one of their policies until like way after. And then there were like all these posts on Reddit and like people talking about it and like people making videos criticizing her game or like reviewing her game that wasn't favorable that ended up getting removed from YouTube. That was a huge part of it as well, and people didn't like the fact that it felt like it was being covered up. We don't have any verification that she went out and told those people to cease and desist or like got them removed, but it is very suspect that a lot of comments about her in relation to that have been removed. And
there was one moderator on Reddit that confirmed it, that there was somebody out there that was removing it, that got called out on it, and then they were banned.
Yeah, I will say this, reading through, and I can send you guys a link later if you want, but reading through all of her conversations with her current boyfriend and some of her conversations with the other people, like how she lies, like the amount of lying that she does is like, it's unbelievable. When you think about like someone's capability to just outright lie about something, and then she starts getting mixed up with her lies about lies about lies about lies. Like and then like the worst part is she pretends to be like a good, honest, virtuous person the whole time, and that's what drove me crazy. But with her propensity to be an outright liar, to say and do anything, and after like reading through this stuff,
those, so I can't. Yeah.
You need to. It's unbelievable. I instantly believe that. Normally I would give someone the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. Not her.
Shit.
I mean, I'm talking like the worst type of lying you can think of. Just a horrible, horrible human being. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know her. I mean, I don't know her personally, but from reading that stuff, I just think she's an awful human being.
And that's, again, one of the things where we all we have to base that kind of thing on is what we've been given.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think now knowing that, I mean, that does kind of like, I'm trying to always consider all angles of the situation.
Oh, sure.
Try to be mindful of that, but like also that being a thing, like, what one person is willing to lie about.
It's disgusting. Wait till I'll send it to you. Wait till you read it. It'll take you some time to read through it all, but the guy actually posts all of their IM conversations and everything she says, and it's just like, it's just it's not really my place to call her an awful human being. I'm just sharing my opinion on the situation. I
Sounds like she is.
yeah, it certainly. I mean, it certainly does. I just, yeah, it's just disgusting to say the least. Like as a fellow human being, I'm disgusted by
And
it.
just to set the record straight, would this be any different if Zoe Quinn was a male instead? For you, in terms of your own personal
No,
feelings about it.
No.
no, not for me, but for a lot of people, it would be.
Yeah.
I actually get very frustrated with the fact that a lot of times only the woman gets the brunt of that stuff. I think that the males are just as bad, if not worse, because I think men can a lot of times be more manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I don't know.
I would put them on equal footing in terms of manipulation, but
yeah,
it's just as bad with guys as well.
I don't know. There's some crazy girls out there, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You do know. I will say that, yeah, no, I would feel the same way if it was a male, for sure. Yeah.
Just wanted to get that out there so that people know the deal.
Yeah.
So, moving on from Zoe Quinn, I think we should touch on this for a second. Phil Fish is quitting gaming again.
Yeah.
And people make allegations that he slept with her as well, and I don't
Oh,
know.
he did.
Of course he did.
I don't care. It's
I
not
know
an
he
allegation.
did
It happened. The way that he was responding to certain, yeah, he did.
And I bet his dick's all fucked up because of it. That's why he was too fucking ashamed to be seen in public anymore.
Well, he made a statement against Total Biscuit, and I want to give a shout out to Total Biscuit as well because he's one of the people in the gaming community that I really respect his opinion, and I listen to a lot of his stuff. I don't always agree with everything he says, but I think he usually looks at situations holistically, and he looks at them from a objective standpoint. No. Total Biscuit. His name is Total. He goes by Total Biscuit, but his name is John Bain.
Okay.
Okay. And
Sorry.
he tends to try to look at things objectively, but also like let you know when he's bringing his own input into it, type of thing. And Phil Fish kind of like made an attack on him. And this is a guy who's always supported indie development. He's always been an advocate for it. A lot of his Let's Plays are of indie games, and all of his he has so many fucking subscribers. Like, people are buying games because of what he's talking about and what he's saying is a good game. And he goes in depth about these games, and he's so honest about them. And that's one of the reasons why I really like him. But yeah, all right, so, okay, let's go back to Phil Fish. He quits gaming. Apparently he was hacked, and so his company was compromised. And there are people who are suggesting that he set the whole thing up. They're suggesting that because one of the links will tell you that. What is it? Let me see.
This is Total Biscuit. You're talking.
I'm talking about Phil Fish now.
Yeah, but you were talking earlier. The guy's name is Total Biscuit.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm just looking him up.
Wow, this is not the link that I meant to put in there. I am sorry, guys. What the hell? These are all links to stuff that's not even. Okay, here we go. All right. So there's someone down in the comments saying, first of all, he said he got hacked, and then he was able to go into his Twitter account and say that he got hacked, which means that he was unhacked after that. Anyway, I don't really know what the hell that means because he made a statement letting people know that he was compromised, both his Twitter and his company account. But apparently there was his website was.
Wait, he was able to retain. He was able to access his account to tell people he had been hacked.
Moments after he got hacked, yes.
That's not how it works.
So that was red flag number one, at least for me.
Yeah.
And there was someone saying, haha, holy shit, Polytron is hosted on Cloudflare. IP location, Arizona, Phoenix, blah, blah, blah. You can't do this on Cloudflare. These changes could only be made by the owner then. And so apparently Cloudflare, Phil Fish made the statement that his account was hacked through Cloudflare, but his account actually is just mirrored on Cloudflare. It doesn't actually, that's not actually where the information is stored. And in order for people to access that, they would have to do it from either Phil Fish's phone or from his computer. Now, I don't know how hacking works on a grand scale, but can't people still get to your stuff if they can get into your computer or phone?
Hold on, I'm getting a Skype. Sorry. What'd you say?
um, they were saying, I'm reading one of the things here saying, I've got no stake or care for Phil Fish or Zoe Quinn versus blah blah blah, but it's nice to have a friendly reminder to state the facts. It is practically impossible for anyone with outside access to Fish's server to have hacked it and released the information. Someone saying the docs file was 1.5 gigabytes and was available on the server at almost exactly the same time the website was hacked. So essentially, you would have to have been able to download all that information within mere moments of it being hacked, which was 1.5 gigabytes of data, which I haven't. I don't have a connection that fast.
High-speed internet.
I guess I don't know fucking.
Nah, it's like the Google. What is it? Google Fiber, the new stuff
Yeah,
out west. I mean, if you were in the right location somewhere in this country,
maybe.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
And then it says another point was everything was posted on the website that was hacked. Quinn was targeted at the exact same time, and then all of this information was apparently pulled from the Polytron website. And then there's someone saying there's too many inconsistencies here. The 1.5 gig information could not have been gathered, compressed, and uploaded that quickly after the site was hacked. It's not possible that this could happen within 15 seconds from an outside connection.
15 seconds is ridiculous.
There's no way. There's no way.
Right.
Doesn't matter what
So
speed
if you have
you
one of the
have.
fastest internet connections in the world, maybe you could download it that quickly. But they're saying it was compressed and uploaded all.
No.
Right.
There's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no
Not
way.
15 seconds, man.
Nope.
The second thing it says is, judging from previous examples, lolsec, I don't know what that is, it's incredibly unlikely an actual hacker would upload the files back to the hacked web server. Why would anyone upload a file to a server when the owner can regain control and delete it soon after? It's common practice to upload the file elsewhere, as this is much more sensible. Interesting. Considering there were no threads on /v or /i or any known IRCs, whatever the fuck that is, planning an attack, it's incredibly unlikely that Quinn would have been attacked at the exact same time. And then the fourth thing is there's absolutely zero reason for all this information to have been on the Polytron website server. The Polytron website is nothing more than a company website showcasing Fish's work. Why would it contain a personal information on Fish in actual Fez game files? Even if the Polytron server was being used to host a Fez game file, a huge security flaw, there's still no reason for Fish's personal info to be located on the server or anywhere
Unless he
else.
fucking put it there. It just sounds exactly like he did that.
Right. So, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, I did see the Zoe post before. Yeah.
But did you read the whole thing and then click on the things that show the IM?
Not everything. No, not yet.
Yeah, well, you should, because it is like the most. She's just. Yeah. So yeah, I mean this is just. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So
long story short, it's really obvious, at least in my opinion, that Phil Fish is doing this, or did this himself, or created this situation. Wouldn't put it beyond him. I actually think that he's mentally disturbed on some front. I think he has some type of mental disorder.
I think so too, because there's no way. I was talking to someone who's probably going to be on this podcast very soon about this whole situation, and about he knows Zoe Quinn apparently, and he kind of got me to think about this whole situation differently. Aside from not having read that thread, obviously it was an ex-boyfriend who was kind of flustered about the fact that all this shit happened. Obviously, she's not a good girlfriend. I would never date her or probably
long
touch
ass
her.
article.
It is, but it's worth it.
But he was telling me that Phil Fish is probably in some way a troll, or he doesn't. It's very unlikely that he is completely so out of touch with humanity that he's not doing at least some of this shit on purpose.
I think that it's either that or that he has some type of undiagnosed medical disorder or mental disorder, which wouldn't be funny. I mean,
right.
The way that he acts, the way that he responds to the community. I actually sent him a bunch of really nice and sweet tweets earlier this week,
Yeah.
just to see if I could get some type of decency out of him publicly, just to see if I could.
Right.
And then this is kind of mean, but then I was going to try to go the other way and see how much vitriol I could get out of him by, doing something in response to those. It was really negative. I just
Right.
wanted to see if I could, it was more of a social experiment than anything, because some of the things he said, man.
Yeah.
At first I thought he was comical. At first, especially after watching the movie that he was in and how hard he worked on Fez, and
Right.
he was getting death threats because the game wasn't out on time and stuff. So I could see, him getting frustrated with the gaming community. And I thought to myself, I'd be really pissed off too. Like if I was
Right.
getting death threats for stuff. But like at this point, he's either legitimately batshit insane or he's just a troll. It's one of the two. If he does have some type of undiagnosed medical disorder, I hope he gets help, because obviously mental disturbances are no joke.
Yeah. It seems like to me he's got some things he needs to get looked at
Yeah,
seriously.
his brain.
Yeah. But so yeah, we're still gonna have to wait until the final verdict as to what the hell's going on with that. But to me, from an initial standpoint of looking at the entire situation going on with Phil Fish and his company, and him closing his Twitter account, and him, saying
Reopening it, and he'll be back. He'll be back in a week. Like quick, and then he comes back. He just starts anew. That's why I sent him the tweets, because there were only like 300 people following him at the time. Like, oh, he'll probably see these, and let's see if I can get any type of human response out of them.
Right.
That's not like telling people that I hope I can burn you all together to the ground.
Yeah.
Stuff. He's probably just, in my opinion, from what you described to me, it sounds extremely like he's doing this stuff on his own or having someone do it.
Right. And so, and him and Zoe Quinn are friends, so they're within the same.
It's benefits.
So I don't want to outright suggest anything, but their information got compromised within the same time frame, basically. And I'm not an all-knowing person. I don't know everything, so I don't know if she leveraged sexual relations to get to where she is.
She did.
It's possible that she did. If she did, that's fucked up. If it was her responsible for telling people to remove content that had her name on it that was negative, that's fucked up. Basically, everything that Total Biscuit, I mentioned Total Biscuit before because he did put a statement out kind of regarding the whole situation, and he pretty much hit it right on the head. Like, we don't personally know every detail about the entire situation about that. We just know about her unfaithfulness to her ex-boyfriend and her willingness to lie about that to him. We know about that. We don't know about everything else. So we can draw conclusions from information that we already have, or we can wait it out to see kind of what happens overall. But we do know that, and we do know that there was a situation that came up with the Fine Young Capitalists as well. That they got scrutiny, and they had their Twitter. I think it was down or removed because of what she was saying, and someone else. And they asked Fine Young Capitalists asked people to kind of talk about what was going on, like the fact that there were people campaigning against them. They were they were people were criticizing them and basically just saying false information about them, and they had their Twitter removed and all this other stuff. They asked for a comment from her, and they never got one, and so they spoke out about that, and they the fact that whole situation happened is another factor into the situation, but it's not a definite, so we don't know if she did everything, if she was responsible for all of that. And again, the Fine Young Capitalists asked other reporters and other people within the industry to comment on it and to write about it, and they said that they wouldn't because her name was behind it.
Well, I'll just say this. It disgusts me that we're even talking about it a little bit because, or not us, but people are talking about it because it's making her money.
Right.
That's something that Phil Fish said on his Twitter. He was flipping out at people can't people be platonic friends? No, Phil. No, they can't. Not in that situation. But the one thing that he said that made a lot of sense was he's like, whatever, guys, you're making her more famous and you're making her money.
Right.
And that disgusts me. I for me, honestly, I could give a shit less about what she does. And, it is what it is,
Right.
let her just. I mean, she's not a significant developer. Let's not make her into a celebrity, even if it's a D-list celebrity. Like,
Gosh.
let's just let this go. Let her, wander in obscurity. Otherwise, they might elevate her to a point where she can get a job, for instance, that she doesn't deserve.
Or we get another Kardashian game.
I was gonna say fucking Kardashians, man.
Like, I'm done.
Amidst all this negativity, my friends,
Yes.
we have a little social media campaign trending right now. It's called We Love Game Devs. I don't remember who exactly started it, but it is going around, and it is trying to bring it back to making gaming about positivity.
Rather than negativity. That's
Right.
nice.
And so, again, amidst all this crazy shit going on, I will remain, at least in some way, open to other possibilities, and I will also remain, hopeful that the gaming industry can move forward, because our biggest enemy as a gaming community is ourselves.
Yeah.
There are a lot of fucking trolls in the gaming community. There are a lot of people who are like, regardless of how you feel about Zoe Quinn or about Phil Fish, like, her information being made public to anyone is
It's
fucked
messed up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah,
So regardless of
that's
how you
rough.
feel about her, that's not right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Doing a witch hunt and like calling for like, and the big problem is people are just upset because they feel like gaming journalism integrity is going down the shitter. It's like, people, this has been fucked up way before then. Like,
Yeah.
gaming journalism doesn't exist because a lot of coverage that you get through media, there are exceptions to that, but a lot of them are like opinionated gaming coverage. That's different than reviews, or that's different than like opinion pieces. It's like they'll kind of put spins on things and kind of put like flame debate stuff just for the sake of doing it, not to actually like go anywhere. So a lot of game journalists, and no one's checking their facts, no one's actually like doing any research. They're just looking at something. I'll never claim to be a game journalist because that's to be left to those who do that. I'm going to call out Dante Finn. He's one of the people who was at my party, who's also going to be making a game very soon. And he's one of the people who kind of like brought a lot of this information kind of to my attention. But he referred to a lot of other people in the gaming industry as referring to themselves as press enthusiasts in gaming. And I think that's a way more appropriate word to use.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people who are being called game journalists feel like that's what they should be called.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to remember that game journalism doesn't have the same meaning as it used to before, and for better or for worse. I mean, I think I get more value out of people like, who are game enthusiasts, who are people who are just like me and you, who go on, they have channels, or they have, blog posts, or have websites, and they talk about their experiences within gaming. I get more value out of that stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I agree too. And I just want to make clear too, like, I know I've said some pretty harsh things about Zoe. It's just like, for me, like the whole, like the cheating thing really strikes a chord with me. I've never, thank God, I've never been cheated on. I've never had anything like that happen, but I just can't think of anything, worse, other than obviously like rape and murder and things like that. But I mean, just so I'm talking about my opinion of the situation, but in no way, shape, or form do I think that she should be, exiled from the gaming community. I don't think that she should be having her personal information shared with anyone. In fact, I openly acknowledge it's none of my damn business. It's nobody's damn business except for the people that are involved.
Right.
But it's out there. It's out there. I'm not advocating a witch hunt or anything like that. I'm just, personally, I was just shared my sentiments on it from personal level. But yeah, no. Yeah, it's the whole situation is just an absolute mess.
Yeah, it is.
Just a mess.
I think a lot of it had to do with, aside from the whole cheating thing, it had to do with like a lot of misunderstanding of certain things going on, and we won't know the whole story until it's kind of like investigated. And I'm sure there's going to be some attention drawn to this from general media because of kind of how far people on the internet have taken it.
Yep.
But yeah. Anyway, do you guys have anything else you'd like to add to the fray?
Go ahead, so.
No. I mean, no.
All right. Well, hopefully we will be able to get on PS3 because I want to fucking shoot some noobs in Call of Duty right now so bad.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on the podcast. This is a little longer than we usually have it, but there was a lot to discuss, and I think it was important to talk about it because this is we care about this industry.
Very much.
Mm.
Very much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if there are things kind of threatening the integrity of our industry, it becomes a hot topic, obviously. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And-
the three of us here have been like involved with this industry for our entire lives, 25 years and 26 years, whatever it is. I mean, I've been playing games since I was 3 years old. You've been playing games since you were probably around that same age. Same with you, David. So you're right. I couldn't agree more. Like, it's definitely something I want to talk about when things come out. And but I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
oh no, you go ahead. I didn't. You didn't interrupt me at all.
No, I was just saying that this community. I get very caught up in certain things because I do feel like there are the minority, of gamers out there make the entire industry look bad. Just like in the NFL, there are a minority of players that do dumb stuff
Yep.
that get all of the media attention, and it's easy to think that that's how it is for most players in the league. Just like gamers, there are some gamers out there that are just rotten to the core, spoiled freaking brats who do stupid things, bitch and whine about anything and everything. No matter how good a game is, they're going to complain. They're going to send in death threats to people because games aren't out on time and things like that.
Right. That's a
and
little insane.
It is. I mean, and it puts the rest of us in such a a poor light, in such a bad light. The fact is, I care. Well, I know that you guys care about, for instance, these layoffs that have been happening all over the place, people that are, putting 18, 19, 20 hours a day into getting an indie game out, which they never know will succeed or not.
Right.
The state of games, just this whole community is very important to each and every one of us that are on this podcast. And so I think it's important we talk about current events, not just reviews of games and things like that. And that's one of the reasons I think this podcast has so much value, because you don't just say, well, here, let's just talk about this game and let's just say what's good and bad about it. You talk about, and you develop, just for those of you out there that don't know this, Will every single week develops an actual agenda, and then we go through it. And it's because he cares, about actually talking about other things, whether, other than just is this game good or bad. It's why, what is it doing, for the industry as a whole? Why is this innovative? Because this is an art form. It's the interactive medium, and it can really bring things, personal experiences to people that no other form of art can do. And, even though Hideo Kojima might disagree with me that this is an art form, I don't care. Video games are art. For sure. But yeah, I mean, I think it's great that you've been doing this. What episode is this now, Will?
30, dude.
30.
30?
Yeah.
Happy 30th episode, man.
Right.
That's awesome.
When we get to the 100th one, it's going to be crazy, man.
Yeah, when we get to 100, we are going to come up to Boston. We're all going to be together. Let's actually plan for that. All
right, let's fucking, yeah.
No joke. So let's start having a podcast 3 times a day so that we can. I'm serious, though. You're only 6 hours away, man. I'll come up for the 100th episode.
That's awesome.
I would too.
Love that.
I'm not even saying I'm saying right now. I'm declaring it. I'm doing it. So
that's plenty of notice. We're at episode 30. If we went to episode 100, we'll do
an in-person podcast.
You're freaking sweet.
Yeah.
We got to do another drinking podcast soon too, because I
gosh,
haven't had anything to drink in a month and a half, and then football starts in a week from Thursday, and that's when I'm going to have a few beers again. So after that point, I'll be good for another drinking podcast, because I haven't been on one yet. And
that's true. It was so
fucking
funny.
So fucking funny. Oh my gosh,
man.
Yeah, we'll have another one of those planned. I don't know.
time.
I think 2 weeks from now I'm going to be away at a convention, so we might have to have the next convention either next week or the week after. The next podcast next week or the week after. I have to look at the schedule again, but I also want to acknowledge that for a lot of the podcasts, the stuff that Dave sends in those emails, I put those in there as well. So, Dave, the stuff that you've been putting in there has been definitely made its way into the podcasts. So thank you for that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and again, people, you can check out. Jordan does a lot of cloud security services. Sony, obviously, you're listening to this, so go, get in contact with Jordan. Let that happen.
Yeah.
But also, Dave, you have a website that you're up and running right now, right?
Yeah, website's still alive and kicking. wdwp.co. Why do we play? And it's just currently me and Chad right now. Matthew kind of stepped back from the project a little bit, more just to focus on family and home life and other really important things too.
Mm-hmm.
But you're welcome to write any content too if you want to, Will. Any guest articles are appreciated too.
Yes.
And
yes. I have a few things cooking right now.
Same for you too, Jordan.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask because, like, I obviously like uploading certain, like, for instance, lately I've been uploading Diablo stuff, but I've been wanting to like have a place to just write about certain things, like a starter guide if somebody's just starting Diablo, tips and tricks and things like that, or just reviews, stuff like that. So if I can do that, I'd be more than interested in doing that. That'd be cool. I need an outlet for this stuff other than just flipping out about it on the
That's what I use it for.
You have two people you can go to that'll give you an outlet. So either one of us will be happy to do that.
Sweet.
Thank you guys at home for tuning in. This has been a fucking amazing episode of the podcast.
Heck yeah, it has.
Yeah.
Sorry for being late, man.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, we're going to end it. Love you guys.